Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Monday to you all. Hopefully, you enjoyed your weekends. We have got new music to check out today, and it is a very exciting time for me today because it is pre-release season for IVE's latest era. Now, IVE are coming back with a mini album coming up here soon enough, and the first pre-release for, I'm gonna guess it's the first pre-release for it, is out today, titled Either Way. Now, if I remember correctly, this upcoming IVE EP is a triple title track release, which is kind of wild. But that means we have plenty of music to check out and just getting started. So, I'm very curious to see what type of concept they've gone for it in terms of sound. Are they gonna maybe start off with a little bit of a darker dramatic piece? Are they gonna go with a little bit of a, slower ballady type piece? Are they gonna go little bouncy, little rhythmic-y with a song, similar to Kitsch from last era? Are they gonna go bright and poppy? Let's find out. DJ, roll the intro. Rightio, Ives, either way. Now, I don't really know how much extra filler we're gonna get in the MVs, 'cause I'm trying to think back on past IVE MVs, and we usually don't get a lot of extra filler. So if that's the case, this is a very long song, which I'm very excited for, because as much as I understand the streaming meta, I don't like it. I want nice, hefty length songs. I know that doesn't do streaming numbers, so I understand. I'm still a selfish fan at heart, though. So, either way, or either way, depending on what part of the world you are from, let's check it out.
누가 내 말투가 재수 없대 잘난 척만 한대 또 누구는 내가 너무 착하대 바보 같을 정도래
Interesting pace.
이해조차 안 되는 시선들 억울하기도 하지만 오해가 만든 수많은 나와 얘기해 우리 모두 다 나야 Either way I'm good 전부 좋다고
Oh.
누가
Oh.
같은 내게 아는 걸 모두 다르게 살아가듯 Either way I'm good
What an interesting sound.
Either way
Cinematic break after the first chorus? Okay. Oh.
있습니다. 행주대교 북단에서 뚝섬까지 1시간 정도 예상되고요. 서쪽 이동에는 올림픽대로 정체도
Yujin, can you drive? Do you have your driver's license, Yujin?
내게는 언니 같은 친구인데 어리광이 심하대 털털한 줄 알았던 저 아이는 마음이 너무 약한 걸
This song has such an interesting, like, pulsing pace to it.
Either way you're good 전부 좋다고 누가 맞고 틀린 게 아닌 걸 모두 다르게 사랑하듯 Either way you're good Either way
Even in this bridge with the pretty crispy beat, it still has that pulsing beat sensation to it. I think that's so interesting. What an interesting song. So what an interesting MV to go along with it. Huh. Whoa. Okay. Musically, this is, I think, the most intriguing IVE song I've heard from them so far. Even with all the B-sides off of their IVE album from last era, this genuinely is a song that has me emotionally confused, if that makes sense. Like, this is such a different kind of direction for them. I know they've done, slower B-sides and stuff, especially off of that IVE album. But this just, I don't know if melancholy is the right word for it, but it's a surprisingly dark-sounding song in a way. It's slow, it's very drawn out, it's kind of got the qualities of like an emo anthem in a way. But then you've got the little elements where, say, in the chorus where the kind of melody picks up a little bit, the energy picks up, but the emotional value doesn't. And that's a really interesting combination. It's also one of those songs where it's not a very overwhelming song either. Like, the quiets are pretty quiet, and once you get a little bit of, kick in its step, it does kick up into gear quite well. But what this song does is it maintains that kind of emotional ambiguity. At least for me, it retains that emotional ambiguity and just kind of fluctuates the energy at the pace it's being delivered at, but not influence the emotional message that the song is putting onto you. That's so different. Because every single IVE song, especially an IVE song with an MV, has usually left me feeling one way or another after listening to it or watching it for the first time. But this is just like muddled up my emotional, what's the word for it? Emotional, not refractors, sensors, whatever you call them. I do wanna, where's that second chorus? It's around here-ish, isn't it? With the pool scene? It's the delivery of the lines, especially in that chorus, doesn't give off any indication on what the primary feeling is that the listener should be getting out of it. And that kind of open interpretation, I think, is really cool, especially for a pre-release, because now there's that point of what is the overall sound concept of the release going to be now? Because there's no one right answer based off of this now. Oh. And also, one more point, shout out the MV directional team for this, because this was a very, very, I don't want to call it experimental, but this was not like a traditional MV. or at least a traditional like IVE MV in the storytelling of it. IVE very much has pretty animated MVs in terms of like movements and actions and dance scenes and choreos, close-ups, beauty shots, things like that. This kind of spun that and flipped it a full 180 degrees. This was a very emotionally strenuous MV, if that makes sense. Lots of dimly lit shots, not very happy scenery, not very happy imagery, or at least until the end like party scene. Lots of emotionally vulnerable close-ups, especially in that second verse, them like laboring up the steps with all their belongings, the close-up of like the teary shots, things like that. Very, very different to past IVE stuff. And that has me so excited for what the well, I don't know if we're gonna get one more pre-release or if we're just gonna go straight into the album after this, but yeah, if this is the mark of a directional change for IVE, I'm really curious as to what it's going to be. If this isn't, and this is kind of like a red herring, and it'll be kind of back to normal with the full release. Again, I'm still very excited for how they're going to spin that. Oh, very interesting. But that is it for me today. Thank you all for watching along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today: let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world. Whether it be, checking with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness to make brighten someone else's day to day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, an ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.